Hello friend, I'm glad you joined me today. This is what we worked on last time, and in today's video we are watching fragments of a process that I recorded 4.5 years ago. As you can see, this is a stag, and I really like these creatures. They are so elegant and handsome, I guess. And as you can see, I'm working again on a primed lightweight wood panel, and the first step was to get a sketch on the panel, and I'm loosely working with the sketch, but I'm not tied to, and just add things along as we go, like you can see in the antlers. And between them I added some kind of object I would like to call a sun and the moon on the go, but I'm not sure if it will stay as a sun and the moon. As you can see in the sketch, there are some rays evolving out of the circular form, but maybe I just skip them. I'm not sure yet, so I'll figure this out later. After I sketched all things out, the main objects, I started to put on a layer of color at the deer, just a light brown wash, to figure out where the main darks, shadows and lights will be. And then I laid the base color for the moon and the sun. This is gouache paint in this little set I purchased years ago. It's a copper color. It's very fluid, so it's very different from working with oil colors, but it's just a base layer, and I will figure out if I maybe use gold leaf. I'm not sure yet. Also, I'm thinking about the color of the fur and the antlers. I'm just thinking about a totally dark approach, or maybe if he's gonna be a white one. I'm not really sure yet, so this is also a decision for later on. So I started to think about the background, and I had a few ideas, and the one I liked the most was the image of a kind of dark woody background with the impression of many leaves, just some kind of foliage to build upon, and with very little impressions of light, so just the hint of some greens being illuminated. So I started to just lay down some colors. It's different shades of green, dark blues, and mixed with a little brown to get the colors a little bit more muddy and natural. And I like to mix intuitively. I don't pre-mix colors yet. Maybe this is something I want to try later, but the moment I just put the colors straight out of the tube on my palette. It's no special palette, it's just an old tile I found, and I like working on them. They're very smooth and the paint doesn't lose its moisture because the palette material isn't soaking anything out of it, and it's nice to clean up. But I found myself keeping the tiles or sometimes glass as palettes because I found they are sometimes little artworks itself with all the mixed colors and patterns. So we are just in the process of blocking in the background. It's a little bit difficult to get a cohesive look right around the antlers. So I often like to paint the whole background first before I put an object in, but this is difficult if your objects are more complex and you need to sketch them out first to see if the composition is working or if you want to change something. So as you can see, the brush strokes are very loose, not accurate, not paying attention to details. It's just the approach to lay down colors and get a kind of nice flow in them so that it looks very natural and doesn't break in the contrast too much, so it's very similar colors. As you can see, it's really messy, and at this point I was not sure if this is going to be the kind of texture I want it to look like, but maybe, as you heard before, there are so-called ugly stages in painting that you just had to work through and just keep believing that it will turn out fine. I must say, I find this part very difficult to work through because I just don't know sometimes how to just get through it. I found it helpful to just step outside or leave the painting for some days and then just revisit it. The look I would like to approach in the end was, as I told you, a pattern of leaves, but not worked out too detailed to don't get away the focus. I'm not sure how this will work out, and right on the go I began to dislike this rough kind of pattern, so I decided to blend it together. For this I just used a regular big brush you would normally use to paint furniture or walls. It worked just fine. It's a budget-friendly way because the brushes you can buy in the art stores in these sizes are very expensive, and so I just try to help myself. As you can see, I didn't stop there by just blending it together with the brush and started to using some solvent to get a lighter wash and remove some of the late color. And I like this kind of out of focus look this creates very much, but it's very mid-toned and doesn't fit my imagination for the final piece because I just wanted it to look way more dark. But this is only the first layer of color blocking. This intensity is the one I'll try to get for the finished background, so I just wanted to try what kind of dark I like more. I can already tell that I like this intensity of the left side, but we need to be careful because it's also the contrast between this opposite colors of this orangey brown and the green, so it would look much more vibrant. You will in the end of the painting when the deer gets more layers of fur, maybe dark, maybe light, as I said, I'm not sure. After I decided I just want to keep this idea of a dark background, like deep wood ambience, I thought I tried to get the background a little bit more substantial by adding more of texture and foliage to it, or the kind of impression of it. So I worked on this base layer of light color wash. It's not fully dry yet, so the colors blend really nice together if you just put a little bit more pressure on it and It helps also by playing the colors very smoothly. As you can see, there are this very dark colors I use mainly, and somehow I decided to add some kind of purple shades in the textures. It felt natural. It complements the greens very well. And here you can see the big difference between the right and the left one. The first and second layer. I'd like to thank you very much if you made it till the end. I hope there were some thoughts and inspirational moments in this video for you. I wish you a beautiful day, and I hope to see you next time, and I would really appreciate if you connect with me, or maybe consider to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. So, bye!